Hey internet. So, I've noticed that a lot more content creators are, I guess, hating on Snowbreak. Like, if you asked me 6 months ago, I would say, okay, their criticisms probably are correct, but the game's actually gotten a lot better. And I feel like most of their criticism isn't really warranted. Like,
nothing to be afraid of.
I'm sure some of them are just like reading the Steam reviews and just going off of that, but I feel like
It's nothing. It's not a problem.
some of it is not warranted. So let's start off with what is valid.
Objective complete. All
So the
according to
first
plan.
time that you shoot like the mobs, you do have a lag spike, and I've noticed that. That's fair. That's a warranted criticism. I think there is a way to fix that. I actually forgot. I think one of my viewers did talk about how to fix it. I think it's in the settings. I think it's like either VSync or frame rate adjustment, one of those. I wasn't paying too much attention to that comment because the lag issue for me wasn't like that big of a deal. It's the first bullet, and then it doesn't really lag afterwards.
To all things.
So I should have paid more attention to it. But okay, so that's a valid criticism.
Reloading. Supplies.
Now, another criticism, while I think it's a little bit late on their end, is like the in-game content. Now, if they said that 6 months ago, I would have had to agree. However, this is like 6 months afterwards. They have added more in-game content. So I think that comment that there is no in-game content is not that valid.
Excellent.
In fact, in this patch, they have added more in-game rewards. So I don't know why they're complaining about in-game content. They have just added a whole bunch of in-game rewards. You can argue, yeah, it's not a different mode, it's just the same mode, but you get more rewards. Okay, that could be interpreted like that. And I suppose that's a fair comment if you see it that way. But making new content does take time, and it is difficult. Software developers just don't magic things up. It does take like a good 6 months of planning. So I understand you want more stuff, but it takes time. Now, one criticism I suppose is both valid and not valid.
To all things.
It's like they said that all the characters are ugly. I disagree. I think beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, as people say. And with art, not all art is the same. So you may have a personal preference. And I would say not everyone agrees with that comment that all the characters in the game are ugly. Like, they're pretty decent looking characters. Now, if you were to say the art style is not up to your liking, again, that's personal preference. Some have criticized that it's not true anime-esque, like it's not cel shaded. Alright, that's a fair comment, but that's subjective also. I think
I come bearing blessings to all things.
Yes, I think and feel that the game is getting popular and people are just hating it because they just want to hate on it. Now, in terms of gameplay, like the shooting, the abilities, it's pretty good. The characters are good looking for the most part.
Not enough to change anything.
There is one or two characters that I like more than the others. Some are pretty okay, and some are like really good looking. But that's again subjective. The weapons are customizable, and I don't see any criticisms from the content creators. They always dog on like the character models, but never the weapons. And the criticisms, I guess the criticisms are mainly like towards like the models and the lack of voice acting, which I do agree that is a fair statement. Like the story is not voice acted. I feel like it should be. Even if they did like AI for the story, but actually have real voice actors for the characters, I think that'd be a good trade-off.
A brilliant performance on my already reloading.
Like if you had a AI narrator for the story, and then just have real voice actors for the characters, I think like the player base would be happy with that. Just because like you're just basically looking at a PowerPoint with no like narration, and I get that. I think like they could have a trade-off like that, to be honest. Alright, let me just concentrate, take out this dude.
It'll take more than that.
Alright, cool. So from that point of view, yes, their criticism is valid, that the story needs to be voice acted or at least have a narrator. It could just be a AI narrator, to be honest. But in terms of the characters, right now it is only in Japanese and in Chinese. They stopped voice acting for English, and that was partly because of, I suppose, budget constraints or budget issues. They couldn't afford to hire the English voice actors.
Watch closely.
And I hope they do have English voice actors in the future. So that's a fair criticism. I think like,
don't worry, I'm present.
In terms of the story, I'm gonna be honest, I don't follow the story. It's pretty generic, to be honest. Like,
to all things.
You're a hero from
objective complete,
space,
all according to plan.
Or that you were stationed in space rather. And yes, there's some aliens that invade Earth.
Do not
that look like both robots and I guess zombies as well. Well, ice zombies.
Not enough to change anything.
And yeah, I mean, yeah, the story itself could definitely be worked on, but I don't think people are playing for the story, to be honest.
Nothing to be afraid of.
Which is kind of a bad thing.
Excellent.
While the story may not be the main focus, it should definitely be
reloading.
A priority, you know? Like, having a good story allows the players to connect. So that's fair. That's a fair criticism. I think like if they just had a narrator, that would probably just help a lot.
Get back.
Now, the comment or like the criticism that says the game feels rushed and incomplete,
supplies.
I can see that. Like, as a day one player, and then looking at like the footage of these content creators playing the game for the first time, I understand where they're coming from. Like, there's no voice acting, and then when you get to a certain point, your characters just don't even speak English anymore. They just go to Japanese, and yeah, I can see why that is. It does feel like it's a rushed product, and it feels like it's incomplete. I agree. Like, there needs to be some consistency. Like, if a character speaks English, they should speak English throughout the whole thing and not just switch to Japanese.
Objective complete.
And
All
that is a
according
bit
to plan.
jarring. It's like you're speaking English like 2 sentences ago. Now you suddenly just speak Japanese. So yeah, I understand. I get that. I feel like it needs to have some consistency for voice acting. It's either all or nothing. Like,
I come bearing
you're in the
blessings to
English-
all things.
if you set your voice acting to English, then they need to have all English acting. If you set it to Japanese, then it should be in Japanese. Okay. So, again, fair enough, but we understand that they ran out of budget for English
I come
voice
bearing
actors.
blessings to all things.
I wasn't your first pick.
Okay.
Serve
I think-
your queen.
To be fair, the game has improved a lot in the past 6 months,
Already reloading.
and I feel like while some of the criticisms is valid, most of it is just hating it just because the game is starting to be popular, I suppose. Like, comments saying that, you know,
Take more than that.
you shouldn't play the game because it's bad. I disagree. I think it's an okay game. Like, if you're gonna compare it to Genshin or like the Hoyo games, then yes, everything about Snowbreak compared to the Hoyo games is definitely lower in quality for sure. This is a smaller gaming company, so it's not like a multi-billion company, and I feel like it's David versus Goliath. If
Already
you enjoy the
reloading.
Hoyo games, that's okay. Like, this game might not be for you.
Focus, Eddie.
Don't worry, I'm present.
And that's okay. Not every game is meant for everyone. I feel like if you enjoy shooting, like a shooting game,
Excellent.
then this is a pretty decent game. Like, for the most part, pretty
Somehow would
enjoyable.
end for you.
Alright, I think those are my thoughts on it. I think, yes, some of the criticisms is valid. However, most of it, I feel like they're kind of just making it just for the title and I guess for the clickbait views. Snowbreak isn't actually all that bad. It's a decent game. It's not bad. I'm enjoying it. And would you spend on it? I feel like only if you want to. Like all gacha games, only if you want to. It's not like a game that I would say you should spend your money on unless you definitely want to. But as a free-to-play, I would say the game's not bad, but there's definitely areas where the game can be worked on. And honestly, Snowbreak is a lot more generous than the Hoyo games, for sure. We're getting like a free 5-star. We're getting more wishes every patch. So I guess yes and no. The answer is the game worth playing?
Supplies.
Yes. Is there issues with the game? Also yes. Should you not even attempt to play this game? No. Give it a shot. Should you spend? Only if you want to, but you don't have to. I'm playing as a free-to-play and I'm enjoying it. So the answer or my opinions and thoughts about the Snowbreak haters. Haters are gonna hate, and when the game's getting popular, people want to hate on it, and that's alright. The game is not for everyone. So those are my thoughts. Thanks for watching. Hope you had a great day. Be sure to like, subscribe, share with your friends, ring the bell, turn on all notifications. Leave a comment below. Do you think content creators hating on Snowbreak is valid, or do you think they're just doing it for the views? Until next time, see ya.